Well, folks, I thought I was kind of done writing about Forza Horizon for a while, but we just got a pretty big info drop on a bunch of new cars coming to FH5 and Horizon Realms, a new feature that they teased alongside the PlayStation 5 announcement. So let's just kind of work our way through the blog post and talk about what this feature means for both new and returning players. So right off the bat, we actually get a release date. Realms are coming to the game on April 25th. And this possibly gives us a decent look into when Horizon 5 is coming to PS5, because I would assume they're trying to line up the new feature drop with the launch of the game on PlayStation, but I would obviously take that with a grain of salt. Now, here's what Realms actually are. 12 different evolving world states consisting of 11 old worlds and one brand new one that can be entered through the game menu at any given time in single player or in a convoy. There's going to be new accolades to unlock, as well as returning accolades from those returning evolving world updates, as well as 4 new reward cars that will be permanently available. Here are the 11 returning evolving worlds up on screen right now. It's pretty much all the fan favorites like the Stunt Park or Lunar Drift Arena or the Retrowave Highway. And then the new world adds in a brand new racetrack to the stadium, somewhat similar to Winter Wonderland, but obviously without being Christmas themed. Now, there are 2 ways to play in Horizon Realms. You can enter through skill mode or free mode. Free mode is more or less what it sounds like. You're just kind of set loose into whatever realm you choose and can earn the accolades that were available during the time of the original update, or work towards any of the new accolades that have been added to each realm. And earning these new accolades is how you will unlock all of the 4 brand new cars that are being added to the game. And I think these are all fantastic picks for Horizon. We have the 2024 Lamborghini Revuelto, the 2023 Storado, 2018 Lotus Exige Cup 430, and 2022 Hennessy Mammoth 6x6. And again, these are not seasonal cars. They will be available to earn for the duration of the game's life, as long as you can complete the accolades. And as a final note on this game mode, free mode realms can be entered in both single player or a convoy. But then we have skill mode, which is meant for solo play, where your goal is simply to rack up the highest skill chain possible to compete on global leaderboards for each realm, with there also being a total combined leaderboard for every realm. Completing challenges in this mode can also get you new player badges. And that is pretty much the gist of it. So what does this mean for players? Well, to start, obviously this is a great way for all the new PS5 folks and really anyone else new to Horizon 5 to just check out some of the cooler evolving world content that they've missed out on over the years. However, it's kind of worth bringing up that even the best evolving world content we've had is still fairly limited to small localized areas of the map. And ultimately, especially in areas like the Retrowave Highway, well, they're really fun to check out and take some photos in, but they don't offer a lot of unique gameplay content. And even for things like the Stunt Park, I don't see many players feeling like they need to spend more than maybe 20 minutes exploring these areas. It's great for the handful of people that do really want to spend more time at these locations, but I think in many ways, Event Lab has kind of always filled this gap anyway. I mean, why go to the Drift Arena in the stadium when you have a near limitless amount of huge and well-detailed drift maps in Event Lab already? I think this Realms feature unfortunately highlights the fact that Evolving World as a whole has been fairly underwhelming. Many of the updates featured here are fun and unique additions to the map, but it's not like they add too much content, especially compared to what Event Lab already brings to the game. As I mentioned in my previous video, and in a conversation we had about this on my live stream, I was really hoping that what they would do here is combine multiple Evolving World updates into a single realm. For example, one realm could have the Drift Stadium, Retrowave Highway, and Dia de Muertos version of Mulahey, while another could have the Cars and Coffee parking area, Neon Airstrip, and Oval Track at the stadium. Or maybe even when you load up a realm, you could get a list of all the available Evolving World areas to pick and choose what you would want for each part of the map in order to create your own custom realm. This also brings up the yet unanswered question of whether or not these realms will let us explore the entire map or be restricted to the area surrounding the relevant Evolving World content. For example, will all the stadium realms let us leave the stadium? And if they do, well, I guess what would be the point of that, because it wouldn't be any different from the regular open world. The other big question here is how multiplayer will work. I and many others had hoped that this could be a sort of sneaky way of bringing back private open world lobbies. I thought it would be really cool if realms could give us these over-the-top customizable open worlds that we could explore freely with a full convoy of players. But the more I read into how the feature seems to work, I just don't think that's going to be the case, because again, what's the point of driving around the open world in these realms when they just consist of a single Evolving World feature localized to one part of the map? My guess is that these will work a lot more like a standard race lobby or even an event lab, for example, where you can load in with your convoy or by yourself, but you won't be able to do things like use photo mode or drone mode in multiplayer, or be able to see and compete in things like the PR stunts around the map. Ultimately, I just don't see a lot of replayability or value here for returning players. It'll probably be fun for new players to check out each realm for a little bit and see what they have to offer, and everyone will surely want to grab the new cars, but once you've seen it all and gotten the rewards, then I think most players won't feel too motivated to interact with the realms ever again. This also brings us to the discussion about skill mode. Anything with a leaderboard obviously adds a lot of replayability for players that want to try climbing the rankings, but to be honest, I feel like skill score is kind of a weird thing to base a whole game mode around, especially if it's not time limited, which seems to be the case. Most decently skilled players can effectively rack up infinite skill points with pretty low risk and low effort. It just comes down to a matter of time, like how long are you willing to keep a skill chain going before you decide to finally bank it. So the leaderboards are probably just going to be a matter of who's willing to grind out a skill chain for the longest amount of time, which I guess is interesting in its own right, but doesn't really feel like something I personally want to strive for. So at the end of the day, I feel like this is just kind of the classic MO for post-launch Horizon content. It's a mildly interesting feature that obviously doesn't make the game worse in any way, and I do think that most players will at least want to check it out for a little while and again get those reward cars, but then I think the majority of the player base will likely bounce off of it because it doesn't seem to add a lot of long-term value for the majority of players. I think the concept for realms could have been executed a lot better if they instead used it as a way to bring back private free roam adventure inside maps that were filled with a sort of greatest hits of all the Evolving World content crammed into one map. However, that doesn't seem to be what we're getting, but there's no use ending the video on a bit of a downer note like that, so instead, let's talk about one more big surprise. We're getting a new car pack for Horizon 5. This is a $5 car pack that brings 4 new cars to the game, and they're all old Nissans. Such a goofy and fun bunch of cars. You guys know I love little Japanese nuggets, so this is right up my alley, and I'm so stoked to see more cars like this get added to the game. And just happy to see that they're still bringing content like this to Horizon 5. I kind of figured that we might be done with new cars altogether, but here we're getting 8 more, and who knows? Maybe they'll keep pushing out car packs to kind of monetize that new PlayStation audience. So there you have it, folks. We've got a decent new feature, 4 fantastic new free cars, and 4 more paid cars coming to Horizon 5, and I'm pretty excited about that. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.